What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys with a Yosenju Master Duels deck profile in replay video. So, for those who don't know, the normal rare and rare event had just previously ended. We are in a whole new update and section for everything for the Yu-Gi-Oh event, and I cannot wait for the next Yu-Gi-Oh event when they do drop it, because I'm going to be working my ways up to get me a Moki mate for Master Duels. So, while I've been playing some Master Duels on the side, this is part of the reason why I haven't been streaming, I decided to go ahead and give you guys a video for Master Duel and focus it on Yosenju, because that was the deck I was playing during the event. Yosenju is a deck that I actually own physically. I own all of the Yosenju cards that are currently out, and this is a really fun deck if you're wanting a Beast Warrior as deck that isn't confined of madness, would you say? And it's so many cool cards for Yosenju. Kind of think of Flow Wanderers if your normal summon instead of Winged Beasts were just Beast Warriors. And then you had more support. And you had a conjunction of things you can easily take advantage of, which I did. So, in combination with Yosenju, I also am playing Kaiju, and I'm playing some Paleozoic support to really spice up things. So it's basically just Yosenju Kaiju, but you're using support from the Kaiju and the in the Paleozoic to deal with your opponent's problematic cards. Big boss monsters, very annoying spells and traps, and then just slapping your opponent in with all this awesome beast warrior monsters. So luckily enough, all the really good Yosenjus are the ones that I'm using, because I don't like any of the pendulums, maybe except for Suchik L and R that were able to be played during the event. I just did not play them. I wanted to focus on straight just Beast Warrior Beatdown. And I had so much fun playing Yosenju. Kind of want to build Yosenju physically again. Get my hands a little dirty. So, with that said, let's take a look at the deck, and then we will go and take a look at some duels. So, starting off, it's 3 copies of Yosenju Comma 1, 3 copies of Yosenju Comma 2, 3 copies of Comma 3, 2 copies of Tsuchik, 3 copies of Izuna. We got 2 copies of the Mystery Dust Kaiju. Gadadara, Thunder King, the Lightning Strike Kaiju at 2, as well as Jijutaru, the Star Destroying Kaiju. For my spells, and quite honestly, the only ones that I used were Dimensional Fissures and Forbidden Chalice, both at 3. For the trap cards, 3 copies of Yosenju Sword Swing with 3 copies of Torrential Tribute, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Paleozoic Deinamiscus, and then 2 copies of Canadina. Then for the extra deck, starting off with the the Exceed Monsters. 2 copies of number 70, Malevolent Sin. 2 copies of Diamond Crab King. 1 copy of Rhapsody and Berserk. 1 copy of Black Ship of Corn. 1 Gaga Cowboy. And 1 Super Quantum Mecha Beast. I think this is Acroboros. Then, for the Link Monsters, 2 copies of Fighter Fighting Daruma Doll, 1 copy of Double Bite Dragon, 1 copy of Generator Transreceiver, or Geno Nator Transreceiver, 1 copy of Triple Burst Dragon, 1 copy of Berserker of the Team Knee, and 1 copy of Steel Star Regenerator. So that is all of the main and the extra deck. So give me a minute, and then we're gonna zap right to the replays. Okay, so first replay was a match against the Sky Striker, which I actually didn't expect Sky Striker to actually be in the tournament, because I mean the event. So are people to play it. But yeah, apparently Ray and Rose are rares. So oops for me not remembering that. The biggest thing about this event was there was a ton of set 5 back row. Or set multiple back row, because there was legitimately little to no cards that were going to stop your background. Compulsory evacuation device, torrential tribute, were basically some big MVPs next to Dino-Miscus because the whole origin of Yosenju, as we all know, is that they do normal summons on top of normal summons to bounce back normal summons. With that said, Ray was probably my biggest issue because of this whole she can bounce around the goddamn field and not worry about anything. So Ray going into Hayate was to just get her into the graveyard to trigger off Ray's effect in the grave. And then here comes Kina. So the Cressedia Revival, that was only just another spell card just to be a spell. I don't think there was really anything in the actual deck that benefited from this. And you only really see your opponent's deck in the options of replay, so you can see it. But I got World Legacy Lanced, unfortunately, which killed off my Yosenju Kama 2 against the Kina. But it was perfectly fine because I really didn't care too much for the Kina. So here comes Rose, here comes Kina. And literally, as you can tell, my life points dropped to 2k. So at this point, I'm panicking and I'm thinking, what are my options on options? So I drew Thunder King. So I dropped Garadara, and then I dropped Thunder King, and then I just started smacking with Garadara. I was so lucky that I drew another Kaiju because I would not have survived the next part of the game. So Rose goes, I think it's a Hayate. I know, it goes into Kina. And here's the dumb thing. I didn't negate Kina. And I should have negated Kina, but I didn't want to hold the Forbidden Chalice a little longer. So Yosenju Kama 1 comes for some support. And I take out the Kina only for the Ray to show up. I should have chaliced the Ray, but I know Ray's effect is a quick effect, so she would have just done that and went for another Sky Striker. So Hayate is on the field. They go for the Magical Mallet. I think this is just to reset the hand to see what they would draw into, but it didn't look like there was much. They go into Chalice. I don't know why they did this. I guess to see they could get the Ray back onto the board for a defensive option. But they set one card, which I think is a Dust Tornado. So I go for the summoning of Kama 1. They go for the Chalice. I go for the Dino-Miscus to get rid of the Ray. I should have changed my Forbidden Chalice to my Thunder King, but I didn't want the Ray to try to trigger off of anything. So I just go ahead and I just swing. They're at 1,000, I'm at 2,000. And basically, I'm just trying to see if I can go for broke. So my opponent sets a back row, and then it's my turn once again. So I got a torrential for backup, and I just go ahead and swing. They play a Forbidden Dress on the Kaiju. Which I thought was very, very odd. But yeah, that wraps up the first match. And then give me a second for the second one. Now we are into match 2 for the Yosenju. And this match, I believe, did I go first in this match? I think I did. Yeah, and I just set the compulse because I really just, as you can see, my hand says things. So my opponent is playing. Oh, it's playing a variation of their own kaiju. So I didn't want to summon anything that I didn't think I was able to keep on the board. So I go for Kama 1. They go for the Dino-Miscus. Funny thing is, I have Compulse, so I can bounce back the Kama 1. I don't know what the other set card is at this time, but yeah, they're playing kaiju, kaijus with Dino-Miscus, and then they're playing all these damn spells for tokens. So yeah, it's Performing Power Hip Hippo, and then Hip Hippo's tokens. So the tokens are the only thing you can target because you can't destroy the Hip Hippo because of the spell card. So there's all of these damn monsters and stuff on the field. So my opponent is basically trying to just beat me down with tokens while holding the kaijus in hand for anything that they can try to get over. Remember, Kaiju Monster, remember, Yosenju can get over this because Yosenjus can bounce them back. So I eagerly set the Torrential Tribute, and I should have just waited. Um, but I at least baited out the MST in case the MST became a problem. So I went ahead and I boosted up my combo 1 and then just started poking. You started poking at the tokens, started poking at the hippo to get it out of the way, and just to see how much support my opponent's going to play without anything to really bounce off the back row. So they card D and draw 2 cards off of it. I go for my turn. I have to just send you Sword Strike. So I summon combo 1 and 2, and then just start swinging at my opponent. I get rid of the Kyoto, the code Kyoto waterfront because it's supposed to be a play on the words Kyoto, which is one of the big cities in Japan. Because the kaijus are based off of Godzilla. So they go for the Hippo Carnival. I'm not too worried about any of this actually. I'm just like, okay, we'll summon your tokens because I think the Hippo has to come from the main deck. Was there. So, yeah, really not much to fear. I mean, there's 3 tokens, and I think at this point I still get rid of 2. So I go for combo 1, I drop Sujik, I activate combo 1 again, I bounce back Kyoto, I start swinging. I really didn't need to power up my combo 1 because as you can see, the only thing I had to worry about was tokens. So at this point, I said, okay, I'm just going to bounce stuff back. Here comes Kyoto. They're going to they put token in attack mode. So I didn't understand why that was such need. Maybe they were just afraid of stuff. So at this point, I just started summoning all the monsters. Again, I wish I could have summoned that second combo 1. But remember, combo 1 can't summon other copies of themselves. It has to be through another another Yosenju to do such. And unfortunately, Sujik cannot do that. So I give combo 1 the additional 1,000, making 2,600, and then I just start poking. So at this point, my opponent really can't do much. That face down card, and I have a handful of support. And just like that, I go for combo 1, I go for the combo 2. When combo 2 brings out brings out the Sujik, and then I just swing. I should have gave the 1,000 to the combo 1, but at this point, I just said screw it. And damn, there we go, victory. So, let's move on to one more duel because I don't want these videos to go too long. And I'll be right back. Alright, and we are back with one more video for today's session. We have a battle against a warrior style deck, which like I said, you can expect anything and everything. So, my hand is a little bleak. I have 2 Izanas and a Sujik, so I just set the Forbidden Chalice. My opponent sets 2 back row and a Monster Defense. So, it comes to my turn. Not knowing exactly what the monster is, I just go ahead and go for the Gyrodara. There is an Exile Force on the field. Did not expect an Exile Force, so I give my Jizukiri some support, and then my opponent sets a card face down. So at that point, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to summon any of the kaijus. I'm going to keep them in my hand. I mean, the Yosenju, keep them in my hand. And here goes Partial. I did not expect Partial. Didn't at all. So I go ahead, I play the Dimensional Fissure. My opponent has another Dust Tornado. I already know this is the first Dust Tornado, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the first tornado. No, the second tornado being played. So the other one got rid of the other card. So I power up the CG. I start swinging my monsters into the Partial. And then I end my turn because I'm really not understanding what my opponent is trying to do. Because if you keep Partial in defense mode, you're going to lose 1,000 life points. Which happened. So they go for the Partial. I don't even do anything. I just end my turn sitting on the Kaiju. And then waiting to see what my opponent does. But my opponent kills themselves because I draw, and partial does the work for me. Like, I literally didn't have to lift any more fingers. So yeah, that is it. So, while we are finished with this, I'm gonna go ahead and be right back so we can wrap up the video. So, with this all said and done, you guys, that wraps up my video for today for my Yosenju deck and some of the videos for the event. I did pretty well in the event to the point where I actually did max out my my dual pass, the previous dual pass, because right now at the time it's recording, the new dual pass features Moki Moki as a mate you can receive. So if we have another event coming up, I definitely will be playing in it, so I can get Moki Moki and all the other goodies that comes with it. In addition to that, I think the wallpaper will be the Orcos, the evening star. So that's not too bad, but I have the lovely construct until they bring a Harpie lady onto it, and then I'll bring out a Harpie lady, but I doubt that's ever going to happen. So with that said, we're just going to stick to construct and stuff. So, let me go ahead and we can wrap up this video. So first off is thank you to everyone, and your support is also always graciously appreciated because you guys are awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. You can also hit the notification bell next to the description button. Next to the subscription button, so you guys can be informed of when I upload my content. Check out all of my social media links, including my Twitch account, because I am doing extremely well on Twitch. I only need a few more subs, and then bam, I can reach, no, a few more followers, then I can hit 50, and then just work my way up from there. So if you guys do want to catch me live, of course the link is there in the description. You can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter for when I do my updates, for when I do go live. So thanks everybody so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you all next time. HPJ signing out. Take care.